Hello friends, my name is Rohan Goyal and I am your civil engineering faculty at Engineering Hotspot. So in today's lecture, we are going to look at a GATE 2020 Set 1 2 marks question. The reason behind why I have chosen this question to make a video on is because I want to convey that the GATE 2020 question paper setters are not just interested in knowing that the student has the technical knowledge or not, whether the student remembers the formulas or whether the student remembers the particular topic or not. Sometimes their aim is to also check whether a student is also able to get the question with general aptitude also or not. Now this question has, for example, now this question is from total stress path, the topic of geotechnical engineering. Now if a student does not know this topic or this topic is out of his knowledge domain, still that student can attempt this question and get the solution to this question. The only thing that is required for the student is to read the question properly and try to understand what the question is saying. So from here you get one very important lesson, that while attempting any examination, especially GATE examination, you should read each and every question 2 times at least. Try to understand what the question is saying and then start solving the question. Sometimes what will happen that you know the question very well, you know what is the concept and all, but while uh, giving the examination in a hurry, you will read the question in a haste and you might miss a very minute detail, and which will lead to your uh, wrong answer. So it is very important for you, even though the topic you know or you don't know, you should reach each and every question at least 2 times. So that is what I want you to do over here also. If you are able to attempt this question, if you have studied this question before and you know this question, then it is very good. But if you haven't attempted this question and if you don't know what is stress path, still I want you to take a minute and pause the video. I'll zoom out and show you all the options. Read out the question properly, try to understand what the question is saying and try to understand what the question is asking, and see if you can answer the question. Pause the video and read the question. I hope you have read the question. Now let us see what the question says. The total stress path corresponding to different loading conditions. Now in this question, the total stress path is given for a soil specimen under the isotropically consolidated stress rate as shown below. Now a stress state is given, and corresponding to this stress state, a graph is been plotted on PQ axis, where P is sigma 1 plus 2 sigma 3 by 3 and Q is sigma 1 minus sigma 3, and we are given 4 stress paths: OP, OQ, OR and OS. And corresponding to these stress paths, we are given loading conditions in the table below. Now the first loading condition is compression loading, in which sigma 1 as shown in the above stress state diagram, sigma 1 is constant and sigma 1 is increasing and sigma 3 is constant. In second, compression unloading, which is compression unloading, where sigma 1 is constant, sigma 3 is decreasing. Third condition is extension unloading, where sigma 1 is decreasing and sigma 3 is constant. And fourth condition is extension loading, where sigma 1 is constant and sigma 3 is increasing. Now they want us to match which stress condition or which loading condition correspond to the which stress state or stress path. So if you read these conditions, you will see that in every condition either sigma 1 or sigma 3 is constant and the other one is varying. Like in the first loading condition, sigma 3 is constant. In the second loading condition, sigma 1 is constant. In third loading condition, sigma 3 is constant. In fourth loading condition, sigma 1 is constant. So the variation of P and Q will depend on either sigma 1 or sigma 3 in any case. For example, in loading condition 1, as sigma 3 is constant, P and Q will depend only on sigma 1. Now for this test state, we know we have given is P is equal to sigma 1 plus 2 sigma 3 divided by 3, and Q is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 3. So as we know that each and every condition, either sigma 1 is constant or sigma 3 is constant, so we can check the dependency of P on either sigma 1 or sigma 3. So if sigma 1 is constant, then dP is equal to d sigma 1. This, if sigma 1 is constant, then d sigma 1 is equal to 0. D sigma 1 by 3 plus 2 d sigma 3 by 3. Since sigma 1 is constant, then d sigma 1 is equal to 0, then dP is equal to 2 d sigma 3 by 3. Now this is if sigma 1 is constant. Similarly, if sigma 3 is constant, then d sigma 3 will be equal to 0, and similarly dP is equal to d sigma 1 by 3 only, because this d sigma 3 will be 0 in this case. I hope you understand. Now this is when sigma 3 is constant. Now if you take the first loading condition, that is compression loading, in this sigma 3 is constant. So sigma 3 is constant, so our this dP is equal to d sigma 1 by 3, 1 will apply, and sigma 1 is increasing. Now in first loading condition, sigma 1 is increasing, so d sigma 1 is positive. Now if d sigma 1 is positive, from the above expression, from this expression, dP will also be positive. So for first loading condition, we have got one expression, that we have got one result, that dP is positive. Now if you see the graph plotted in the question, now check which stress path is having an increasing value of P. If you check OP, the P is increasing, yes. OQ, it is decreasing, so no. OS, it is again decreasing, so no. And in OR also it is decreasing. So the stress path corresponding to loading condition 1 is either OP or OR. So let us check Q also. Now Q is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 3. Now if sigma 1 is constant, this will imply d sigma 1 is equal to 0. Then dq will be equal to only minus let us write full. D sigma 1 minus D sigma 3. Since D sigma 1 is 0, this is 0, and dq will be equal to minus D sigma 3. And similarly, if sigma 3 is constant, then d sigma 3 will be equal to 0, and dq will be equal to d sigma 1 minus d sigma 3. Since d sigma 3 is 0, then dq will be equal to only d sigma 1. So we have got the dependency of q on sigma 1 and sigma 3. In both cases, if sigma 1 is constant, sigma 3 is constant. In our loading condition 1, we have given that sigma 3 is constant. So this condition will apply. And sigma 1 is increasing. We have seen sigma 1 is increasing. That means d sigma 1 is positive. Now if d sigma 1 is positive, this will imply dq is also positive. Okay, so let us check. For loading condition 1, we have come down to two stress paths, OP and OR, from DP positive. Now we also know that the DQ is also positive. That means that Q is increasing as the stress path proceeds. So I will check in both the cases. If we see OP, in OP the Q is decreasing as the stress path is going in the downward direction. So this will not correspond to our loading condition 1. And OR we can see that it is in the increasing direction of Q. So OR is the correct stress path for a loading condition 1. So OR corresponds to loading condition 1. Similarly, we can see for loading condition 2, in loading condition 2, which is compression unloading, we are given sigma 1 is constant and sigma 3 is decreasing. Now for sigma 1 constant, now sigma 1 constant, for the dependency of dp will be, now since sigma 3 is decreasing, which will imply d sigma 3 as negative because it is decreasing. Now if d sigma 3 is negative, this will imply from sigma 1 constant dp is also negative. Okay, so we have got that the stress path that will correspond to the loading condition 2 will be such that the P will be in the decreasing direction. And if we see Q also, since d sigma 3 is negative and sigma 1 is constant, so this condition will apply. And since sigma 3 is negative, so negative and negative is positive. So dq is positive. So for this we have got dp also, dp negative and dq positive. Let us see which stress path corresponds to this one. So let us see first in which stress path dp is negative. Now the p, in the p direction op is increasing, so this is not the option. OQ, the stress path OQ, P is in the decreasing direction, so this might be the option. OS also it is in the direction, this might also be option, and OR is in the increasing direction, so this is not possible. So either OQ or OS. Now we also know that, we have also seen that DQ should also be positive for stress condition, loading condition 2. And let us see in which option of these two the DQ is positive. In OQ, it is in the downward direction. So DQ will be negative in OQ. So this is not our option. In OS, it is in the upward direction. Hence, DQ will be positive in OS, and therefore OS is the option corresponding to the loading condition 2. So this is our option. Let us see if we are able to in attempting any examination, our aim is always to get the answer as soon as possible. Our aim over there in the examination is not to solve the full question until and unless we come to the end result. If we are getting the correct option by solving half of the question itself, then still, then also we should take the question and move forward, because time is a very crucial, uh, important criteria in preparing for any examination. So let us see for OR. OR over this is matching to loading condition 4. So A option is not correct. OR is corresponding to 1. This might be correct. OR is corresponding to 1. This might be correct. OR is corresponding to 2. This is also not correct. And we know OS is corresponding to 2. OS is correct. This might be correct. Over here OS is corresponding to loading condition 4. This is also not correct. So we are left with only one option, that is B. So we have already got the answer, that the answer is our, the correct option is B option. But still we will check the other stress paths also, other loading conditions also, whether they satisfy the option or not. So coming to the third loading condition, which is extension unloading. In this we have been given that sigma 1 is decreasing and sigma 3 is constant. Sigma 1 is decreasing, that means d sigma 1 is negative. So d sigma 1 is negative. Now let us check. Now sigma 3 is constant. For sigma 3 constant, I'll erase this part where the loading condition 1 has been solved. Now for this condition, now we are from third loading condition, we know d sigma 1 is negative because it is decreasing. So this will imply that dp is also negative. So we know one part, that dp will be in the decreasing order. And for now, for the variation of q for sigma 3 constant, we'll again rub this part. Now sigma 3 is constant and d sigma 1 is negative, so dq will also be negative. So we know, we have got that both dp and dq are negative and both p and q will be in the decreasing order. Let us see in the graph which stress path corresponds to this condition. Now if we have got, let us check all the stress paths. OP, OPP is in increasing direction, so this is not possible. OQ, yes, P is in the decreasing direction. And let us see Q also similarly. In OQ itself, Q is also in the decreasing direction, so this might be the option. OS, P is in the decreasing direction, but Q is in the increasing direction, so this is not possible. OR, P is in the increasing direction and Q is also in the increasing direction, so OR is also not possible. So the answer to this problem will be, to this loading condition will be OQ. So OQ corresponds to loading condition 3. Let us see if our option that we have chosen, B option, does that corresponds to the loading condition 3 OQ? Does it? Yes, it corresponds to the loading condition 3 itself. It has been matched correctly. So the last is extension loading, the fourth loading condition, in which sigma 3 is constant, in which sigma 1 is constant and sigma 3 is increasing. Since sigma 3 is increasing, B sigma 3 will be positive. Now sigma 1 is constant. For sigma 1 constant, let us erase this part first. Now sigma 1 is constant, so this condition will apply for the variation of P. Now D sigma 1 is 0 and D sigma 3 is positive. Now therefore dP will also be positive from the above condition. Now we have gotten the variation of P in the condition 4. Similarly, we can get the variation of PQ also, since sigma 1 is constant that has been given. So, and D sigma 3 is given as positive, and positive into negative is negative. So dQ will be negative. So we have gotten the variation of Q with the in the loading condition 4. So let us see which stress path corresponds to the loading condition 4. With P increasing in the increasing order and Q in the decreasing order. Now let us check. dP is positive and dQ is negative. Let us again check all the options. First check dP in positive, that is P in the increasing order. In OP, P is in increasing order, so this might be the correct stress path. OQ, it is in the decreasing, P is decreasing, so this is not the possible option. OS, P is in the decreasing, so this is also not the possible answer. OR, it is in the increasing, so this might be the possible answer. Now we have also seen that dQ is negative, that means Q is decreasing. So let us see OP. Q is in the decreasing direction, so this will be the option, and OR, it is in the increasing direction, so this will not be the answer. So the correct option to the loading condition 4, the correct stress path that corresponds to the loading condition 4 is OP. So it is 4. Now let us see if the option B is corresponding to the given result or not, given analysis or not. For the OP stress path, we have fourth loading condition. Yes, it is showing the fourth loading condition. Hence, the option B is the correct option. Now see, usually when I'm explaining any question, my aim is to first tell you what is the basic concept involved in the question, what is the physical significance of the question that has been asked in the examination, and what is the background. But in this question, especially, I have explained first what is the procedure, what is the way that this question has been solved. Mark that I haven't explained anything about the stress path. Because in this question, if the person is not knowing, not having the knowledge of stress path, still this person can solve this question by the basic aptitude itself. Because he has been given the very P function and Q function and the variation of sigma 1 and sigma 3, and he can easily analyze which would be the path corresponding to the different loading conditions. So do read each and every question twice before attempting that question. Try to understand that question. Try to see if you are able to analyze and if you are able to figure out any solution, any way to solve that question. If so, then give it an attempt. Sometimes it is possible that the GATE examiner is trying to test your reasoning ability or aptitude capability itself. So now proceeding, now finishing the solution to this question, now we will see what is stress path and what is the significance of this stress path. So what is stress path and what is the practical significance of stress path? Stress path is used to represent the successive states of stress in a test specimen of soil during loading or unloading. Soil specimen is subjected to triaxial loading, or when the soil specimen is subjected to triaxial test, The Mohr circle is drawn corresponding to different modes of the soil specimen and corresponding to different loading conditions. So let us take an example of series of Mohr circle as shown in the graph below. In this graph, I have shown a series of 4 Mohr circle which is conducted which the results that we get through laboratory experiments. Now a soil specimen is subjected to first a confining stress of sigma 3 and then a deviator stress is applied till failure sigma 1. Now the Mohr circle corresponding to this sigma 1 is this one. Then this sigma 1 is increased and the Mohr circle changes from 1 to 2 and then to 3 and then to 4. As you can see, I am only changing the sigma 1 and sigma 3 remains constant. So if you see the loading conditions, what type of loading condition will this be referred to? In which sigma 1 is increasing and sigma 3 is constant. What type of loading condition it is? If you see the table above which is given in the question, it is correspond to compression loading. It is also visible from the state of stress. If you see the state of stress, draw the state of stress also. In which sigma 1 is like this and sigma 3 is like this. Now if sigma 3 is constant and sigma 1 is increasing, that means the specimen is being compressed. So it is compression loading. Similarly, if you see all the loading conditions, you will get different series of Mohr circles and you will get different stress path. Let us first check what is stress path and how is it drawn. Now stress path, if you see the definition, what is it? It represents the successive states of stress in a stress specimen. It could be a locus of point of any state of stress. Like for example, the most popularly drawn state of stress is the maximum shear stress. If you see the Mohr circle graph, the maximum shear stress in the Mohr circle 1 will be at this point. Similarly in 2 it will be at this point. Similarly in 3 it will be at this point. And similarly in 4 it will be at this point. This is the maximum shear stress. Tau max. Okay, I think it is understood in other small circles also that it is the maximum shear stress. And this is the center of the Mohr circle to the Mohr circle 1. And why do we need stress path? Is if we do not draw the stress path, it is difficult for an engineer to predict what will be the state of stress when the sigma 1 is further increased. Now, if the loading is further increased to this value, sigma 1 is further increased. Now, what type of stress path, what type of the maximum stress value that you will get? You have to conduct the whole experiment again, triaxial test, and draw the Mohr circle, and then see. But with the help of the stress path, you will get a straight line joining all these maximum shear stress points. This line will give is the stress path corresponding to maximum shear stress. So this stress path is drawn on PQ axis where P is radius of Mohr circle, where P is center of Mohr circle, and Q is tau max. So with this, we have studied a briefly what is stress path. We will study all this in detail when we'll take geotechnical lectures on our channel, and there will be even more interesting things that you will know during those lectures. I hope you like the lecture. Kindly comment if you find any improvement that I could do in the videos. I really appreciate your comments. Thank you. Goodbye. See you in the next lecture.